Afternoon, gang. Good morning, gang. Man, I'm just in time today. Just in time. Another chaotic morning. Net problems. Again, internet problems. But we just got it up and running about 5 minutes ago. Just in time. Something with my router is really flaky. It's not handling port assignments or something. I don't know what's going on. Did Dave finally get his shelves? Yes, he did. He did. Howie Amazon was busy last Tuesday. They've got his shelves. I haven't used them yet. I've just got them in there and I haven't started sorting out how to use them yet. Howie Amazon's a good guy. You noticed. People are keeping track of stuff. Wonderful. He's done it really nicely. They go quite deeply, enough to put, file boxes and stuff like this. I haven't yet figured out how to use them all. The shelf below the computer here, I've got to get this sorted out. So things are still a bit chaotic. I got my cups and all kinds of stuff everywhere. But at least there's an infrastructure in place now. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to pick up where we left off. I don't even know when it was. I was doing pasting down color separations, but I was doing this while somebody else was talking. It must have been while Cal was here the other day, so I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing very well. But I've got 4 more here to do, it seems, and I've got 2 blank blocks. But I also think one of the ones I did the other day, I peeled off a bit too much on one of these, I think. And we might be okay. Might have to draw this in again, I'm not sure. There's a limit to how much I can talk and do stuff at the same time. I might have screwed up the other day. I think these were okay. This was the part I was unsure about. I've got a big open space in the middle, so can I use that for some of the other? Yeah, I want to use that open space. There we have a flash that would go too close. I think we can get away with it. There's an indigo pattern here that I think we could put onto this same block because I need one more face. Okay, pasting down, so we'll save that one then. I'm going to keep that in reserve. Okay, let's get to work. I've got 2 more pieces of wood here. And I've got 3 more patterns to paste down. So let's get to it. I don't have any specific show and tell for you today. We might spend a minute. I got a small bunch of prints yesterday in the post, so we might show them, but it's not any dramatic special show and tell. And sometimes when Cal was here, Cal Carlisle, the friend from America, he visited. Just as he was leaving, he was on the stream all the time, and just when he was leaving, he left a small present for us. Maybe he said, a bunch of the people in America will recognize what this is. And he brought just a little present for us. It's a package of chocolate. And he said people will recognize the place this comes from. And I don't, but whatever. Anyway, it's a package of chocolate, and he thought, well, you know why he brought this for us. So let's go. Let me get to work here. You know exactly what's happening. We've done this a million times before. Okay, what do I need? I need my... I think I'm a bit dazed again here this morning. It's been, you know what's going on here. It's just It's not beyond belief, the chaos that's going on here. Every day, every day, every day. Okay, one hunchback going down on one piece of wood. Let's do this. What's the schedule today for guests and stuff? There's no special guest programmed. It's a normal Friday. I think Cameron should be here this morning as normal. I'm not quite sure what time he'll be here because he's on a different schedule now for the next couple of weeks. I don't know if we mentioned it yesterday. His wife has gone to visit her mother for a couple of weeks, I think. Not quite sure how long for. So Cameron's a bachelor for the next couple of weeks. So what he might be doing, he might be staying later in the evenings, because that's when I stay later. We get some work done together. He normally has to run home quite early, in order to get home for dinner and stuff like that. But now that he's by himself for a while, he might stay later. So in order to do that, he might come later in the mornings. I'm not quite sure. Okay, let's tap. You know what's going to happen here? Noise for those with headphones. 3, 2, 1. This morning I had a bit of a fun experience, a funny experience. The room where I've been sleeping is the old party room upstairs. And it's at the front of the building. It's actually right above where I'm sitting now. I'm at the front of the building on the ground floor. And I normally sleep in the old party room up at the front of the building on level 2. And I sleep with the window open at this time of year. The window's wide open. And this morning, somewhere, just after I woke up, I don't know, 6:30 or something like that. I don't even know what time it was. The window's open and people are, stuff's going by outside. Garbage truck goes by, people walk by, stuff goes by. And a couple of people walk down the road speaking in English. And somebody was explaining to the other guy the district. We're going to be around the corner, we're going to meet Sensoji and stuff like that. And as they came by, they hit the front of this building, and the guy who was doing the explaining recognized, oh, this is the place. He's got a big surprised voice. This is that place. This is that place I was telling you about. This is that guy who does the Twitch thing. And he didn't know much else about me other than that it was just a Twitch thing. This is the guy that does that Twitch thing. He's making, traditional Japanese art and twitching it, blah, 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 blah. And it's funny to me, for me, Twitch has been, over the past year or something, it's been an extension of what we do. It's been an extra to what we do. But there's people out there, I guess, people in the Twitch world or whatever, who spend a lot of time on Twitch, and for them, this is their main view of us. They don't know much about what else we would do other than this. That's a bit funny for me. Not to denigrate anything we're doing here on Twitch, but to me it's an extension, it's an extra thing. Our main work is the shop and making prints and stuff like that. On top of that, we do twitching, or whatever it's called, to show people our work. But for him, that was the main point of this. So, no, I didn't say hi, I just kept quiet. I got a half-naked guy standing up with his hair all in a mess, reaching out. Yeah, it's me, it's me. There's a bit of a canyon echo effect, these noises you hear going by, because the buildings are a bit tall on each side and the street's narrow. Sounds echo their way down the street. Okay, moisten the block first so the glue doesn't seep in too quickly. If we don't moisten it, then when you spread the glue on it, just sticks right in that specific place, starts to sink in. The glue doesn't spread evenly, but with a tiny bit of moisture on the wood first, the glue spreads evenly. It's delivery time, delivery time at the restaurants nearby, so all the trucks are coming down, guys with wheelie carts delivering meat, delivering all kinds of stuff. They get all the deliveries done before the street really wakes up. I forgot too, it's 8:11. Did we have a vote going on the shoe lady? I didn't see anything on it. I didn't hear anybody. What's the next possible time for the shoe lady? 8:11 or something? Or 8:14? I can't remember. Did she pass by? I didn't notice. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't. So here's the backing sheet coming off. The backing sheet was just simply to carry it. And we have a double on this one. This block is going to be two colors. It's these small colors in the armor, all these threaded parts of the armor. And then his tattoo is also going to be on this block. It'll be different colors. That'll be a light green, this will be a dark blue. But there's enough room between the two places to have them show on the same block. So I can't peel the whole thing together. We'll just peel in patches here. Is this her? Oh, no. much too gentle. I think we got it now on this part. Okay, next. We're not getting many good peels here. This is not really good Gumpy, you know. We've been testing lots of different kinds of Gumpy. We're having trouble getting the same kind of Gumpy on reorder. We go to the same place to buy it, we reorder the same number with the same stock number, and it just comes up completely different stuff. You know, the people who are selling these things, they don't really care about consistency. They're just desperately trying to grab some stuff. So the current batch of Gumpy we have right now is really, really inconsistent. Really inconsistent. I'm not happy with it at all. So the next batch might be okay, who knows? It's just Huntony, it's random. Another 10 minutes, another tap. Hi, 3, 2, 1. I'm not really on target here, are we? Sorry about that. Where should I be? you, lady? I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't take notice of it at that time. I don't have any memory that she came by today. She's got a very, very distinctive gait. The kind of shoes she wears are the kind of sensible shoes that women wear when they're going to an office. So that's nothing unique about her. But her specific gait, bang, 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 going down the street, kind of a no-nonsense sound. I don't think you want to mess with her, you know. Sounds like a bunch of school kids coming here. What's this? These are kids. You see them going by in uniforms? They're middle school kids in black uniforms. I think they were all girls. It looks like a girls' class or a class from a girls' school. I don't know. There's a theater, a couple of theaters down the street. One that does rakugo, the traditional Japanese single guy on the cushions talking and telling jokes. And it's become a thing for schools to do field trips to this theater to give the kids a sense of the traditional theater thing. I guess they're starting early today, 8:30. Maybe this is the first one starts at 8:30 perhaps. Yeah. They'll probably book it for the day for the school, so do an 8:30 session, 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. This is terrible copy. It's just fragments. Starting to peel a little bit, but it's mostly just fragmenting. That's the same kind of shoes, but that's not the same woman. Okay, one more piece. Good, looking good. Two more faces to go. It's a shame, big wide piece of wood just for a small area like this, but you can't help it, the way Jed does the design, or just the way the design turned out randomly, this piece of wood's going to use this, and all the rest of the wood's going to be wasted. If we had some part of the design that was just, a single small area somewhere else, we could do that. But they're just not working out like that. You get two like this, you can sometimes do them upside down, do one here and one there, but these are they're too close together. So if you had a piece, for example, in the bottom right corner, you can do it bottom right and bottom right this way. But these are just too close. So it's just unfortunate. It's just random. It's nothing Jed did good or bad. It's just simply... Which one shall we put? We're going to combine one of these. We've got the green dragon. That's too close for the flesh. You can't put this on the same one. You can't put it that way around. We could do it this way, What we've got here, this block, I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to explain some of these things. This block is going to use just this corner and the top part. It's one of the dragon colorations of the block. So this rest of it's all not used. Now we've got a place here for the skin tone, but it has to go down like this, which means the skin tone is here, too close to this place. They would bump into each other. We can use different colors here. But we've got all this wide open space. So if we think about taking the same block and cutting another registration mark on this side and putting it here, then the skin tone would be here. But we're still too close at this point. But all this area is unused. So what we might be able to get away with is if I cut another registration mark here, that puts the skin tone here in an area well away from everything else. But she's got to be careful, so when she's printing the dragon, if she prints here and bangs that, and also do I have a place to actually cut the registration mark, because this is supposed to be cleared away, ready for printing this. Bit of a puzzle here, not sure the best way to go forward with this. And you can use smaller pieces of wood, you know. What we could have done here, for example, instead of having all these wide pieces, because we've got two of these things, we've got clothing here and a skin tone here, we could have, for example, cut a smaller, narrower piece of wood. If we had some pieces left in our stock that were just narrow, cut registration marks here, she would put the paper on here, and we would just print it this place. That's doable as well too, you know. It's a bit funny because then you've got to dig through and have different size pieces of wood in one bundle. They tend to be difficult to wrap together. When you've got all the pieces of wood for a single print at the same size, they wrap together, pack together, ship together. It's easy to handle them, you know. What's the best way here? I think if we do this, this is close enough. It comes, here we got 2 fingers. I think what we'll do is this. This clothing area will go on this block in the same orientation as the dragon color. In fact, I could have colored it in right here. She can use one brush for the dragon color and either at the same time or separately use another brush for the kimono color and print them again, either together or separately. It's a little bit troublesome. Here's the closest point of approach. Closest point of approach is here. It's a good 2 full fingers. She can rub that with color, rub that with color. I think we'll do that. So put this one on here. That means this one gets its own face. That's a waste, such a waste, you know. Impossible to go there. Impossible there. Impossible there. Same thing there. Those 4 faces are full. Impossible there. That's full. This one's a bit empty. Let's see. No, they're too close. It's only 1 finger apart. No. Impossible. No way around it. It's gotta go. Oh, there's another way. Just a minute, just a minute. How can I get these two on one face? If I really screw around, but put this over on that side like this. Registration here and here. And take this one and do it the other way around. Registration there and there. No, they're too close. How about this way? It comes to there. That comes to there. Sorry about this. I just got to figure out a way to do this. We don't have enough pieces of wood for this. So, I'm looking at this upside down. You could imagine if this was the other way around. These were face down. On the piece of wood, we can get that printed area here, registration there and there. On the other way round, we could get this piece of wood for printing here, registration there and there. I think we can do this. Because I need one more face for the Shomenzuri that we're going to have. And that goes on the back of this. I think we can do this. Yeah, new faces here. Sorry, it's on we can't rotate the paper 90 degrees. Somebody's asking why not do it this way. That's totally, absolutely against the rules. And I'm not just being finicky, against the rules. It's plus minus. In the old days, before we were using the laminated wood, the wood grain is running this way on all the blocks. All of them. We just cut them the same way so the wood grain runs the same way. When we print with the paper, we have the paper grain running in the long direction. Paper has a grain just like wood. And in both cases, the wood, whenever it expands and distorts, it does so across the grain. It never, almost never expands and distorts the long way. So distortion is across the grain. The paper too, when we moisten it, when we're printing, not this transfer paper, the printing paper, when we moisten it, it distorts almost nothing lengthwise and it distorts a lot in a horizontal way. So as we're making a print, bit by bit, the blocks get older, they shrink a little bit this way, the paper will be distorting. We can make our adjustments this way. But if you've got a block set and some of them are distorting this way, and some of them are distorting because you put the paper on 90 degrees. They're distorting the other way. It's absolute chaos. It's impossible to get the thing worked out. Now these days we're using plywood blocks and they're not going to have much distortion. So it should be theoretically possible if I did this way. I could put this piece here and this piece at the other end. But now we are printing garbage collection. Now we're printing across the grain and we have a real chance of distortion the wrong way. So just I can't do that, even though probably these blocks are not going to distort because they're plywood. There's no way I can do that. It's just so much against the grain of what we do. What is going on there today? What day is it? It's Friday, right? A normal garbage pickup. We put our garbage out last night. They're not picking it up. We get burnable garbage pickup twice a week here. The pickup is Friday mornings and Monday mornings. That one went there. This one went here. Where's the nearest point? Nearest point is there. I think we can do this. She's not really going to like it, but I think we can do this. It's the only way to save another piece of wood. Oh, but there's also a hard patch there. It never ends, the problems. It's got to go the other way around. Oh, it's Cameron-san. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Wasn't sure if you'd be coming in earlier or later, or you might be staying later tonight, so come later in the morning or whatever, yeah. I don't know. So how's bachelor life? Okay? How long's it been since you've done this? No, no. Okay.
Almost 3 years.
Okay. Okay, a couple of things. I know we're struggling a little bit with the performance here. You know the problem we had a few weeks ago where the whole net went down the different ports, stuff was going through some ports. It happened again this morning. Oh, no. And I finally got it 5 minutes before stream time. I finally got something patched to get her up and running. I'm using the portable router over in the window there, and it's not as smooth as the normal router. I didn't want to bug you guys with it, but we had a real connection trouble this morning again. Oh, no. So that's the situation right now. We're hanging in there, but there are a few drop frames.
Do you have a data limit on that thing?
Yeah, but whatever. It automatically runs and we get the bill at the end of the month. That's good. I have to turn this around, sir, without jiggling the plugs and everything else.
Although this one is much less finicky about that than the previous device.
I think some of the people might know, we mentioned yesterday on the stream that your wife had gone back to spend some time with her mother at home
in
in
America.
America.
So weeks in the US, visiting family
so I
and
think
friends.
you've become bachelor camp, I think.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. According to the admin says, so it was on your end. The stream kept buffering today, but they have resolution controls for now. So.
Okay, yeah, it could be our end, Tom. That's I'm frazzled. I spent an hour and a half wrestling with that thing.
Oh, man. Let's see. Did you already ask? Someone asked Shomenzuri? Question mark.
Yeah,
Did you talk about that a little bit?
Okay. I just mentioned there is going to be Shomenzuri, but I hadn't originally accounted for it in the block count when I asked Aoyama-san to prepare the blocks for me on this. And when talking with Chon-san the other day, we realized that there would be there's one of the patterns on this print would be much better if it came up as Shomenzuri.
Oh, cool.
I don't have it to show here because it's not in the Kyogo Zuri. But there's a pattern on one of the kimonos here that would be better with front rubbing to give it a shiny effect. So I can't prepare it and show it today, but I needed to keep an extra face. So that's why my normal block count was ready for this. I needed 6 pieces of wood, and now all of a sudden I need one more face. So I've been trying to figure out a way to jam these together.
Okay.
And 2 of them have relatively small areas, but they're the same area. So you can't put them on the same block that way.
Right.
And sometimes you can do it heads and tails if they're in the right area.
But there's a little
Here,
overlap.
heads and tails, they still come too close. So I'm doing them heads and tails, one pushed out this way with the printing area here.
Yeah.
And she can support her paper on her desk with something to hold it when she's doing it. And the other one will be pushed out this way, printing in this area.
Oh, wow.
And again, she'll have to print it. So it's okay. It looks a bit clumsy on her desk when she's doing it, but it'll work okay. So.
Okay.
And another solution, which I think somebody mentioned, we could have actually, if I got another piece of wood, for this one, because we only have these small areas, I could have just used a thin piece of wood if we had
Right.
some extra wood upstairs. But at this point now, to go back to the wood stock, to try and get some glue ready to laminate it, send it out to the planer, it's another week's delay. And I
Yeah.
can't do that. We just have to get this thing going.
Got it.
And now I'm confused. Which way was it? I'm confused again what I was doing. So.
Take some explanation for Kawasaki-san to know what's going on.
No, she'll do it. I'm going to cut the registration marks now, so I cut those, and she will see the yellow paper pasted down, so she's okay. And she's done this before. We know how
Okay.
this works. So
Got it.
just I have to make sure I don't get myself. I've already did. I got it all laid out, and it turned out when you put them, there was a hard spot in the wood that just fell in the wrong space. So
Oh,
there's always something else, This way around the hard spot in the wood is okay. So this is number 1. That's number 1. This is number 2. Cut it here. This is number 2. There's some kind of, I don't know, a Shugaku Ryoko or something. I think it's
Yeah.
probably Enge Hall. They're doing, Rakugo or something. It's common. All right, so I've got to cut some freestyle registration marks here without my little plastic thing.
Old Ways Tea says, I think you can pretend it is a thin strip of wood and it should be no different if it's cut or not. And that's essentially what you're doing now, isn't it? You're
Yeah,
pretending
but
they're two.
but if I did, I use both sides. I need to keep one side free.
Got
If
it,
it was a
got
thin strip of wood, one on one side, one on the other side.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is keep that other side untouched.
Right. So you're using one side as two thin strips of wood, essentially.
Yeah, sort of. Yes, exactly. Pushed away so
Right.
that they're in the different areas. So,
Yeah.
so it's confusing to explain. If you're here and you can see it, it's kind of easy to grok. But so I'm sorry to be, we're going to get a tap here, right? We have to do our warning.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, tap, height.
Marumarushi asks.
Madushi. Have you
That's
heard that
what it says.
expression somewhere before, Cameron said?
I've heard Marumaru-chan. I don't know Marumarushi. So if any of you fellows doing woodblock printing in the States have a recommendation for buying mulberry paper there, we just know.
Asking us? No,
I don't know, I guess he's asking the
stream.
others, but does
Well, Cal has brought, Carlin, who was here yesterday, he brought a bunch for testing, and they're here on the shelf somewhere. I don't know what I did here, somewhere. Have I lost them already? He gave them, oh, here they are. So Cal gave me a bunch of things for testing. He's got, like, the labels all that he's got from, I don't know,
somewhere?
they're all written on the back, and so he's got. And when he's here next week, he and I or we or Sugu-san or Rei-chan or somebody is going to be testing these. So.
It says Kozo Sho and Hankusa. What?
Hankusa means half pulp,
Okay.
and he got those in America, I guess, from maybe from McLean's or somebody or something. I
Okay.
don't know. So.
Yes. So is it Trial of Strength also has Shomenzuri, is that right? On the soldiers' clothing?
Yeah. I think so. It's been so long since we made it now. I don't remember. I think so. We've done it on a few of the various hero prints. It's on the Shovel Knight print. There's a huge amount of Shomenzuri on a Shovel Knight design.
Ah, it's not on his clothing, it's on the robot. That would be pretty hard to see on the
Let's try.
Not gonna bother.
Yeah, okay. Right. Kids everywhere today.
Yeah.
What day is it? Friday, isn't it?
Yep, Friday. October 12th.
Okay, I think I can get these two pasted here now. And we'll go number 1. We'll go here. And this is the area that will be carved. And the point of closest approach will be about here. So it'll be carved in here. On this one, the carving area will be here, the closest approach will be here. So she's got a full 4 fingers when she's printing.
Yeah.
So they won't bang into each other at all. Just double check, triple check, double check, triple check.
You guys are quiet today.
I am too. It's just been a bit of a frazzled day. Spending that hour or so fooling around with that internet stuff, you know.
Where's
I still haven't got it. I still haven't got it fixed. You know, so I'm sorry. I'm not feeling, you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. I'm still half afraid that I've forgotten something and screwed something up here. There were a few auctions last night. I didn't get anything.
Oh no.
The prices went up a bit, and a bit more than I was willing to go. And they weren't really interesting items, and there was a bit of risk about mold and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I just backed away. It's okay. We've done really well recently, and there's no reason to push my luck.
Wow. That's true. Some of the regulars aren't here today. That makes sense. I haven't seen any Dead Steve comments, for example.
I'm not sure what day is it. Today's Friday here, Thursday in America. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that may have come. That means the net may have come back up over there. So
All right. I'm gonna take a quick.
try the Big Mac, the Big Mac over the Big iMac, the Big iMac over there. See if it's connecting. Is it back on?
Not looking good.
No. Okay. Well, something connected over there. We just heard the.
Notification. The iPad, however, is working just fine.
But no, that always was the other time. The iOS devices all worked well. It's some port problem or whatever that the desktop machines won't connect through. So stuff's coming up. Stuff's coming back up. That's the mail coming in. So if
Wait,
something
wouldn't
has,
that mail be coming through the portable Wi-Fi since you're connected to the internet too?
yeah, maybe I guess I don't know.
Anyway. Yes, Mr. Jellybones, that's the email address. info@mokohankai.com. Send me a message, I'll read it after the stream is over.
Also, before I forget, there's one or maybe two that I get the messages from Facebook. Somebody has written to you on Messenger.
Okay.
And I don't see those, so but I think somebody's written, Dave, why don't you answer me, and blah blah blah. And
Oh,
I'm
no,
like, I
okay.
don't use Messenger, so I think there's something in there. If you can see it from your end.
Is it, if it's directly to you, I can't, but if it's to the
No, it's to the
Mokohankan
Mokohan-
page,
yeah,
then
okay,
I can
whatever.
find
Let's
it.
have a look.
Okay. Woodin Garmin posits. Is it possible there was a silent update to the router's firmware, and that's what's causing all the issues?
Well, the more and more I think it's something to do with the router, whether it's the
Yeah.
DNS settings. And when I was fooling with it this morning, at one point it half came alive, and the computer would go to X website, Y website, Z website, but it wouldn't go to A website, B website, C website. And you'd go to, for example, it would pull up the YouTube channel page for me, but it wouldn't pull up the images from the YouTube channel page. Which, no, it's okay, because quite often a page has images stored on a different server.
Right.
We do that on our own website. So my HTTP woodblock.com is on the Pittsburgh server, but the images come from an Amazon server.
Yeah.
So that tells me it might be a DNS problem. Some websites are resolving, some websites are not resolving.
Yeah.
So it's a DNS setting, or it's a port setting where, like, Amazon S3 is not allowing connections of a port such and such. So it's one of those two things, and I can't quantify how it is or what it is. I can't reproduce it, and it just fixes all of a sudden by itself. Suddenly, restarting doesn't help. Restarting the router doesn't help. Restarting the computer doesn't help until it does help.
Until it does. Nothing
And
works.
I'm really suspicious of our ISP, but they claim nothing. Last time they said, no, Dave, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Whether they would say that or not, I don't know.
Yeah. How bizarre.
But then again, the situation now, we're on the Wi-Fi router going to our ISP, and it's working okay, but the router upstairs, which is NTT's property, is the one that's misbehaving. So that points to the router rather than the ISP.
Right.
And when it's under this problem, it won't let me log into the router to check the port settings and DNS and stuff like that.
Frozen Runner also seems to believe it's DNS issues.
Yeah, part of the page is loading and the images aren't. That to me smells like DNS all over the place. Some websites are resolving, some are not. Some URLs are resolving, some are not. So maybe when we get a minute today, when we get a minute today, we can temporarily punch in open DNS numbers or something like this,
Yeah.
Something that we
The
know
rats
works.
are back at it again.
I don't think rats can whatever,
Can make some websites work and others not.
some URLs.
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, did you hear about the most recent Windows update? People are now saying Windows update got pulled because people were getting their files deleted.
Their files on their own
It's
machine,
a
you mean? What do you
weird
mean?
issue.
We're talking about an OS update? Or?
Yeah, if you had all the machines come with a default location for my documents, my pictures, my photos, whatever. And if you had told it, don't look in the default place, go look on my separate bigger drive, then sometimes people would leave some still in the default folder, or some files there, and then have some pictures on the external
Okay, I
drive.
get you. Yeah.
Then the update thought, oh, we'll just clean up people's computers. You don't need to look at two folders. So they deleted everything from the default one and only looked at the redirected folder, and people are not
I
happy.
think one of the Apple OSs a decade ago so did something like that.
Really?
They were really trying to push people to use the default locations that are built in. There is a default. There's a documents.
Right,
there's a this.
right.
There's a that. Now, I was one of the people who resisted it. Don't tell me where to put my stuff. Whatever. Now I just don't care. I just let it go in the interest of not making trouble.
Yeah.
But I was really hostile to that when they did it. When Apple did that back when they switched to OS
Right.
10. Who are you to tell me where all these things should go?
Yeah, I want to name my folders however I want to name.
Yeah, but I get it from a system manufacturing point of view where you're updating everybody's computers remotely and stuff, that it makes sense,
Yeah.
So I get it. I can see both sides of it. And now, in the interest of just making sure it doesn't get screwed up, I just leave those default locations as they are.
Yeah.
And also, as a programmer, the software we've written ourselves, it's far easier for me now. I know where the documents folder is. You just write /documents. I know the stuff's going to be in there. So as a developer myself,
It helps.
it helps. It helps me. It left far fewer things to worry about.
Yeah.
But then again, the software I've written for us doesn't do this checking. If it's not in the document / folder, bingo, it just doesn't find it.
Just,
it doesn't
where
go
it
hunting.
is.
Oh, good luck, you're on your own,
Yep.
So I get
Couldn't
it.
find it. Did you look? No, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Just didn't feel like it.
No, see, from my own software, I don't but I don't write in failsafe. So if it doesn't find it, it doesn't work. It doesn't pop up and say, by the way, where should I start looking for this sort of stuff? But if you're writing a system that's going out into the world, you've got to, catch all these things. So I can see how that kind of a problem could happen.
Yeah.
At some point, the dev somewhere is just saying, look, you guys didn't follow my instructions. Okay, it's over to you. Your problem. You didn't do what I told you to do.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
All right, they're pasted down. That was all a waste of gum. People would have. Okay, so we have a basic block set ready now for this print. I will send these today to Kawasaki-san in Kobe. We won't do the back face. This is going to be Shomenzuri. We can't carve the Shomenzuri until we've done a test print, because normal stuff is all, how can I describe this without getting into a long conversation? When we're normally printing, paper is moistened, printed on a block, and as it's moistened, the paper expands. So when we prepare for printing, we moisten the paper, which expands. We then print it. Once we've dried the paper shrinks. So woodblock prints are always smaller than the blocks on which they are carved. That's just as a normal matter of course. This is just true through this whole genre. If you compare a block set and the finished prints are smaller because the paper has expanded. Now, to do a Shomenzuri, the front rubbing is always done on dry prints. So the block for Shomenzuri must be actually scaled a little bit smaller than the other blocks.
Yeah.
Now, the transfer sheets I've got at the moment here are transferred from the key block. So these transfer sheets are the same size as the key block.
Right.
But for a Shomenzuri, I need a transfer sheet that's smaller. Now I could get a piece of our regular printing paper, moisten it, expand it, print it here, dry it, shrink it, and paste it down.
Right.
But if that's going to work at the same proportions as the actual print run, I don't know.
Yeah.
So for the Shomenzuri block, the one that we need to do one of those kimono patterns, we're going to hold off until we're doing test printing. We then have our real paper, we're rough and running.
Yeah.
She will then just make 5 test prints. And I will take one of those test prints, dry it, paste it on here, face up, and carve it. So that's...
Who's going to do this batch, this test run? I know it's months, or at least weeks away. I don't know how long it'll take her.
Probably Suga-san, I think. She's our in-house Ukiyo Heroes printer. If I send it out to Kubota-san, I can't sit there and talk to him. If Suga-san does it, we're sitting here communicating, and she's happy to do this.
Yeah.
She's so happy about being an early printer for these. She's helping create prints that have never existed before.
Right.
Instead of making great wave reproductions all your life, she can help create new interesting work. So she's game for this with no problem.
How many impressions is this one going to be?
I'm not quite sure. It's 5. It's going to be 6 pieces of wood both sides. But as we saw, one of the pieces has 2 zones.
Right.
So that's going to be 13 off the bat.
And then Shomenzuri.
No, including Shomenzuri. So 6 pieces of wood carved on both sides.
And at least one done.
It's going to be 13, and as far as I know, there's no gradations on this print at all. I think it's probably one of the first heroes we've ever made that doesn't have any gradations at all.
So instead
I'm not quite sure. There might have been an example somewhere in the past.
So
Jed has done it with flat colors, overlapped and overlapped. So I don't think there are any gradations.
So the YouTube video will be half as long.
Whatever, I don't know. So 13 impressions. So it's a simpler print, but yet it's still complex because it's one that he really filled, and it was part of my instructions because it was part of the boss fights.
Fine details.
He really filled it with lots of fine details.
Yeah.
It's difficult maybe for people to see what's going on because it's so black. But,
Shomenzuri, the embossing effect. It's not an embossing, it's a glossy effect, as someone else says.
it's
by rubbing.
from embossing.
Yeah.
So, yes. In fact, you can just see it in real life anywhere. Remember when we were kids, we used to get a quarter or something and put it on the table. And then we'd get a pencil and we'd rub on the back of the quarter and it would show up.
Yeah.
If I can.
You have a coin?
I don't have any money.
I actually don't have any coins with me. That's weird.
Is that a hint, Cameron?
No.
Cameron's hinting to me he's got no money in his pocket.
got no
Dave, I
coins.
got no money.
I just don't have small money.
Oh, okay, the other way around. I see. We're paying him too much. I see. Okay. So you know the deal. What we used to do. How come nothing's showing up here? What's
I think the
going on?
paper might be too thick for it.
Yeah, no,
to-
here it is.
Oh, there.
It's showing
Okay.
up. Now this is not Shomenzuri. This is actually coloring it. But what I'm saying, if you take the same thing now, the same idea, and not with a pencil, if we take it with some thing. See what I'm getting? There's no pigment being involved here, but the pattern is coming up. In this case, it's not gloss, it's dirt from the back of my chisel. But you get the idea. We rub the front of the print over a carved surface. This is a coin, but we're going to carve a pattern. Then when the finished print is done face up, we rub over the surface of it, and that carved pattern shows through. If I rub it with a dirty tool, it's going to show dirt. But anyway, you get the idea. I don't. And that's shomenzuri. Shomen meaning front face.
Yeah, the front face.
Front face rubbing. Front side rubbing. And we'll do one of the kimono patterns on that guy's. One of the fighters will do it that way. And that will be carved onto this extra block, but I can't do it today.
Until it's done.
Yeah.
Until the rest of it's done.
Okay, now I can't start carving this because this is not my job. This is going to go to Kawasaki-san for carving. So we're going to wrap it up and send it to her. So I haven't prepared anything special, but yesterday we do have a little bit of hee-hee. Can we do this? A little tiny bit of show and tell?
Yeah.
This is nothing dramatic, and it's nothing that's going to go in the shop to sell. So we're not trying to sell stuff here. Let me put some light on. Somebody, I think earlier in the stream today, they said, Dave, you talked before about the matchbook prints. Will you do and show and tell about matchbox prints? No, not right now, because the next David's Choice video, David's Choice number 7, which will start production real soon now, is going to be about matchbox prints. These are Senshafda prints. Look at this size here. You can see the borders. This is actually a double Senshafda. Normally they're made one at a time, like our chibi prints, like the single chibi prints we made. And these are prints that would have been made for a collector's group. This is late pre-war, I mean, just before the war or just after the war, maybe 40s through 50s through 60s. It pretty much died out in the 60s. Looking at this one, I think the 1960s, so there might be a date on it somewhere. We might see it as we come up. So you've got a group of collectors who like collecting these things. There's 100 people or 150 or 200 people in the group. They each pay a fee. They pay a yearly fee to be a member. Then for each project, they pay a fee. It would be $10, $20, $30, depending on the complexity of the project that's going on. And they would then sketch some stuff. People in the group would do some rough sketches, and out it would go to a woodblock printmaking workshop, which specialized in this work, which would then clean up the sketches, get all worked out, and bingo, produce the project. And then bring back, here's your 200 sets, and the group members would pass them around among each other. And sometimes they'd order more so they could exchange with another group or stuff like this. And they're called Senjafuda, and the origin of the things is in those labels you sometimes see stuck on a shrine gate or a temple. It's frowned upon now because it's just too messy. The shrines want to keep clean. But people would have their own name on a label, which they'd stick. I was here, Kilroy was here, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, what we've got here, it's a broken set that came up on the auction the other day. It's a set of Senjafuda, which were made something to do with the Kanda Matsuri, which is one of Tokyo's largest Matsuri, largest festivals. And it would have been a set of Senjafuda and what they are.
Someone asked, are these toilet paper rolls? I'm sure they're not, but what are they? I don't know what they are.
It's part of the symbol of the Firewatch system. I don't know if I have one here to show you the whole thing. No, I don't. I don't have one as a sample. It's, oh my God, what can I say with us here? Whatever, the Tokyo Firewatch groups had certain goods and ceremonial things, and this, the interlocked circles here, were one of the things that they carried around.
Oh, okay.
Without having a sample here to show you. And lots of the Senshafda groups were integrated with the Firewatch groups.
Interesting. Okay.
Back from Edo time. So no, nothing to do with toilet paper. So it's interlocked white circles. Where was I? Okay, the particular theme, other than the first two sheets on the top, which I'll save for a minute, what the theme is here, it's festival floats. And again, this is not a picture. Imagine, this is the very top part of a festival float. Below this, there's a big thing with wheels that rolls around. It's a dasha that goes around the town. And the Kanda Festival is famous for having these huge festival floats, and on the top of them there are dolls. And some of these dolls are actually animated. As the wheels of the float rolls along, the dolls turn or turn side to side, back and forth. And there's one float for each of the Chome, what's the divisions inside the district? Inside Kanda, there's
just neighborhoods.
Yeah, neighborhoods. Good.
Neighborhoods of the district.
Like Tsushin Sekimachi, I don't know how you pronounced it. It wouldn't be. I don't know. I can read the characters. This is communication, new stone town.
Yeah.
Whatever it came up as. Tsushin Sekimachi, kana? I don't even know. No idea. But anyway, this is that neighborhood, and it's number 6 in the series here. This was series number 25, and this is, it's similar. It's new. So they're all local neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Similar. Look at this one. It's got Nuno Mezuri. Does it show up in the picture here? Should I be zooming
We'd have
in a
to
bit
zoom
more?
in a bit more for that, yeah. There's some fine detail.
Are you okay there?
Let's see. Still not very clear.
Maybe if her clothing is done here with an effect of.
Oh yeah, there. At that angle, you can see it a little bit. There's a pattern on the clothing.
And these are so nicely done. And what we see at the bottom here, these are the names, or not the actual legal name. These are the handle name. What do they call it? I don't know, the people's
Pseudonyms almost.
Well, a user ID.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What do they call the Twitch handle names? What do you call these things? It's a
Handles. No.
user ID. It's just make up your own name instead of your real name. So they would do this. And they're cool. They are so nicely made and so nicely printed. That's not, she's way too slow. That's not her shooting. So, and these Kanda Festival floats are really, really famous. And there's dolls on top of the dolls and so on. They are really overbuilt, over the top. When they were building them back in the late Edo period, there must have been a race or something, like an arms race. Who can make the most spectacular? Which group can donate the most money? Which businesses in the area could be extorted for the most money to build these things, you know?
Yeah.
I'm happy now that these days none of that stuff's going on, because they come around to your door, you know. We got to build a new festival float for the special festival 5 years from now, and we're starting the planning, and we need like $500 from each business or whatever, you know, whatever the numbers are.
Yeah.
And these are spectacular floats. They still do this over in Kanda. You know?
Some look like real names though, like Miyamoto. Right?
Yeah, so I think there are the districts may have been reorganized. They may still be there. Iwaicho is a show.
Yeah.
We should just get out our Google map and see where they are. They may still be there, or they may have been,
Hashimoto-cho.
so they may have been reorganized. I don't know. So.
Sakuma. Looks like 2 neighborhoods got
Yeah,
together there.
maybe, yeah. Or the division in one neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Sakumacho is too big, and it's the district inside there.
Okay.
So my guess, I don't know.
Yep, there's another Sakumacho right there.
Fujimatsu-cho, or they're combining the show. Fujimatsu-cho. How would you pronounce it? I have no idea. I don't know. Torin-cho.
I don't know.
What have we got? Not a cat? A dragon? What is
like
it?
a
No
turtle.
idea. Oh, it's
Turtle
a
with
turtle.
a tree on
A
it.
turtle with a tree on top, and then
Apples.
it's a pine tree with red berries. I don't get what's happening here. I think we've got some artistic license going on, because these are this like
Or the
bamboo leaves.
berries coming off of the
Yep,
smaller
something else.
branches that are growing.
On a pine tree.
No, there's the pine
there's
tree, and then
another-
there's
okay.
looks a vine or branches from some other
Yeah,
type
but the
of
leaves
tree.
look like bamboo leaves. I think.
Yeah.
And then we've got, what are these, camellia flowers? I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
Pine
Only
bamboo
berries.
berries. My favorite.
Whoa. And then we don't have a full set because there's numbers we're missing. These are just, full set would have
Number
been really quite
21.
spectacular. So I don't know what the highest number we saw is, but there's only 12 of them here. There's number 23. So. And then there's also, with each set, there's always the main set, and then there's extra sheets that help have more information about when it was made and where it was made. And they've taken here, for these extra sheets, they've pulled up some old ukiyo-e designs, like this is, Toyokuni.
Yeah.
They've pulled up a Toyokuni design And I have no idea what the derivation means or what it's all about. I know. But these are the three, and there may be more. These are three of the colophon to the set, something like that.
But the one with the woman has a really interesting thing up in the corner. It looks like a head biting a stone on fire.
You tell me.
Or something.
No
I don't know what's going on over there. But those are some fine hairlines.
And teeth, my God, it's really, really delicately crafted here. So.
We can get in a little closer on that.
This is small. I mean, there's my finger. That's the face. It's carved within my finger. There's teeth on it, and there's everything. And it's beautifully printed, beautifully carved. The hair is just so nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I think, wait. Have they got 2 layers of hair here? Let me pull in my skull. Hang on a sec. Might come out of view here just a second.
You just need to send the camera.
No, it's one. It's
okay, it is one. Just some lines are much thicker than others.
Yeah. And you see the printing, it's nice printing, but it's rough and fast. They're just shoot, bang, bang, gone, done, shoot, bang, bang, gone, done. Because they've got to get going on these things. So, and it's the same kind of detail that they would use in, look at this, it's carved on my own. I mean, hair carving is okay, and this is okay, and this is okay, but these hairs are carved bumping into this one. You can't just go shoop, 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 you know, because there's stuff in the way. It's really, really, really difficult to do this. Look at the teeth, the size of these, look at my finger. There's little red makeup at the end of the eyes, each one. You know how delicate the printing has got to be for that, you know? I can't believe people made it. There's makeup. I don't know if you can see it. There's a pink, delicate shade of makeup over each eye. They've gone to barely see it. It's the same level of detail that will be in a giant Oban print, and it's here,
postcard
down
size,
to whatever postcard size. There's a gradation on the flame here. Oh, there it is. It's coming out of it. Look, these are tied together.
Yeah. I figured they were, but
there's some. You know, I don't know the derivation of these symbols at all. I'm sorry.
It's like the fire's coming out of the horse's face.
I don't know. No idea.
No idea what's happening, but it's interesting and beautifully done.
And just for a few bucks, you know, there was a few people bidding on the auction for this because other people like collecting these things as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't get them for free, but my God, we just get it for so.
Someone said, "How old are these?" You said 40s, 50s, 60s, somewhere in there.
Without knowing more about this, I can't find a date. That's all I can say, 40s to 60s. I don't know, I'm sorry. It's really, really hard to tell. Just pre-war, I think. Just pre-war. I'm going to stand corrected if we can find a date on these. Show a 20 or something, or show a 10 to show a 20 or something like that. It's probably a known set, you know. I don't have this set. It's a known set. Doisan may have these already, you know. In fact, he would know because there will be a front cover sheet for the whole thing with the actual date, and name, and title. You know, just I don't have the title sheet. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I haven't. I just opened this yesterday, so I've done no research on it. Yeah.
Right. But they're very neat.
Yeah. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Cheap. Incredible. So there we are. Sorry. Not a very, I can't explain too much about these, so it's not a very informative shot, I'm sorry. Just a little touch to show a little bit of the kind of stuff that's passing through our hands these days, going into our collection. And actually, Cameron-san and I were talking yesterday about the upstairs space, the second floor where our shop used to be. And we have an outline in our minds for how that shop space is going to become an exhibition space to show these things on rotating exhibitions every few months or whatever we can get around to it.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're totally overwhelmed with work, but the prints are waiting, the knowledge is waiting, the space is waiting.
Yeah.
It'll come together when we get the next employee who's going to be the flea market person. And they can start organizing the collection. And they're in that second floor. They're working right there. You know, they can build that exhibition. I'll lay out what I want each 3 months. We'll write some text to go with it. We'll scan stuff as a PDF. Yeah. We'll have a web page for each exhibition every 3 months. The door will be unlocked.
Yeah.
So it'll be coming when we get that next employee, I think. Yeah. It'll be really find someone who can sit next to you at that next bench.
Who can handle that? Just handle me.
Okay, I think we better get going. I got a shop to run here today. I'm going to be actually printing share certificates for the rest of the morning. I've got to get those out of here.
Yeah.
And then I've got news about the Adobe software. That,
all right.
You saw the message I sent you last night. It just never ends. The company who you love to hate. Whatever. Okay, guys.
Just make it so easy to hate them. Yeah.
So anyway, what's today? Today's Friday. I'll be back on a stream tomorrow morning, and it won't be sizing. We're sized up to date. It could possibly be share certificate printing if I don't get it all done today. What it probably will be is me sitting here at this bench working on octopus carving, I think.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes at that time.
Sounds great.
Good.
We will.
Sorry about a bit of a scrambled stream this morning. When I got here, I was a bit, frazzled because I spent the last hour and a half mucking with DNS settings or whatever.
Right.
So sorry about that, guys. Apologize for it.
Have a good one.
And hopefully we'll be back with a steady, stable working stream tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks.